Hello, people. I have jacked the podcast tonight. This is Big Dano Guy here, and I am with Tom, being held
Hey!
hostage with Zach, and we are right now at Tom's birthday party. Just like the night's dying down, we got a storm brewing here in Washington, and just late night talks before bed. Just wanted to say hi and do whatever. And this is not a numbered podcast. If it was, then
Yeah.
Tom would have done the intro, but he had no idea what to say, so I'm like, well, fuck it, I will. So here we go.
We're not on a particular episode. This is just a special episode or
Could be
special
a
podcast.
Special,
not really.
whatever the hell you want to call
could
it.
be a
Next week
0.5
you'll
thing.
see for the next episode,
Mhm.
which will actually be the next number. So yeah,
Pretty
just
much.
Like
special podcast.
I've seen like people have like 0.5 episodes.
So
It doesn't matter.
well this for this podcast we have me, Ultimate Spy 53, or Tom.
DG555 or Zach.
Videos on your channel.
And of course,
Nah.
Big Dano Guy. I'm back after a couple weeks of hiatus, so yay.
So let's talk about shit.
Alright.
Any particular things on your mind for the entertainment
I'm
world?
not the best at
This-
thinking of things to
Well,
talk about.
I feel like this podcast it's based off of things in the entertainment world, video games, movies, TV shows.
Well, let's get a little bit into some more deeper shit.
Yeah.
I have an idea.
Yeah?
Let's talk about things like special items.
What do you mean?
Alright. Like his, doomsday blanket over there.
Oh yeah.
That you touch it,
blanket.
you die.
A blanket that I've had ever since I was 3.
Wow.
It has become part of my soul.
Pretty much.
And-
Wait. You have a soul.
It's in there.
That explains
It's just never on me.
True. Quite true. Alright, so tell us.
So
Wow.
yeah, it was Christmas when I was
Yeah.
3.
Oh wow.
And so that's when I got it. And
This is
So-
some real shit we're talking about right here. A
Yes.
grown man in his blankie.
yeah, you don't mess with freaking
A
Giant
19-year-old
guy.
with a blankie, probably.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Grown
no,
ass
yeah,
man.
right? 19, right?
no 18.
Oh, oops. 18.
Yeah.
I bet you are already 19.
No.
No, my.
It's January.
Wow.
Oh shit. I'm older than you.
Yeah, you are.
Wow, that's hard to believe.
That's because also
Holy shit.
just by like 3 weeks. No, you are by 3 weeks. She's like by something,
3 months?
maybe. I don't remember her birthday.
Anyway, she's old.
Yeah.
She's an old. Anyway, so ever since then, I've kind of poured everything I've had into it. Blood, sweat, and tears. Mostly blood.
Yeah.
That's why it's so red.
Mm-hmm. That explains it.
Anyway, so yeah, I've kind of established to all my friends that this is a insta-kill item,
Yeah.
where
Pretty much.
if it hits you, or you hit it,
No, if you hit it, I mean, seriously, that if you're gonna whack up on the head, like let's say just one day you right on the head, I'm gonna kill you now.
What if I just want to do that though?
I'm not gonna kill you.
That's not gonna.
I'm
hold
just
up in
gonna hurt
court.
ya.
You realize that, right?
Really, really bad.
Court.
Who needs that?
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
file for insanity.
Oh,
Wait, you
Insanity.
need to file for that. I thought we confirmed that years ago. Well,
Well, the
at
court
least that's
needs to
my
know.
personal look.
Court needs to know.
you realize?
don't.
You realize where this podcast is called this podcast for a reason.
Quite frankly, yeah.
We,
This-
we literally are a mad house.
we're not
well,
really
we don't
talking
want-
about nerdy shit here.
We are in a
just-
house.
We're talking about
mad.
more personal.
This is like one of those kind of podcasts where I'm not going to be all nerding out
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I'm just going to sit here, sip my water,
He's
and
almost
talk
out
about
of.
shit. Yeah.
And probably 5 minutes later, he's gonna grab a couple more cookies.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe 5
Yeah,
minutes
most
later.
likely.
But yeah, that's my item of incident.
Yeah.
If you ever choose to try to touch it without my permission or anything,
Oh yeah, we know that part.
or if you're lucky if I catch you, then you'll probably just get out with a spring arm or something.
I've
pretty
actually, I've been trying on accents actually for a
Accents.
while. Yeah.
much. Accidents
I-
happen.
I mean, I do a lot of like different accents. Like I do a British accent, which is I'm finding a lot better to do a lot of British accent. More like it's really easy. And then I watch things from like Jacksepticeye, and I hear his Irish accent. It's really good. I'm trying to get that better. Like
Trying to get better.
I'm trying to get
Better.
better at actually doing it. It's a lot better. I did a whole lot of things at college where I actually figured out to do how to do it. It's
Mhm.
really easy.
And I noticed that you're not
It's fun.
stuttering near as much. You don't
Yeah.
stutter. Not
No.
nearly as much if you're doing an accent. If
Yeah.
you're gonna be doing an accent, then if you're gonna be all Boston, do you want to be all like a gangster kind of a
Yeah.
accent? Not like the yo 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 kind of thing, but like you're trying to act like a gangster. You're trying to talk like a good
Like
man.
there was a video that I saw where it was
Now we're gonna
Jacksepticeye.
be talking
It was
like accents.
It was an old video where he was saying he was looking at bad comments, and one of them was like, You're not even Irish." It's like, and the way he took it, it just he's like, "I don't give a shit what you think about me. I don't know what else I can prove. How else I can prove to you that I'm Irish? Like I'm Irish.
Yeah,
What,
just like you
like,
proving that
like,
you're not Asian.
like
Zach.
you're not even Irish. Like what else? How am I supposed to prove to you that I'm Irish? I've done as much as I can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, what am I supposed to do? It's kind of hard.
Yeah, I'm Irish. My name Brennan means little raven in Irish.
Nice.
My entire family has pretty much been Irish. I'm over 75% Irish. Next one up is Scottish, and then literally everything else under the rainbow. I
Yeah.
mean, my family got around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get around.
Yeah. Look at my family history, and you look at me, and then like, what the fuck? You haven't been doing? Nope, not really my thing. There's a reason I'm waiting until I'm married.
I mean, I've
Edward
noticed
tries
that.
everything.
Well,
that,
technically, that's Edbergs, the Towns, the Gunnings, and if you're going to be, are you going to be talking biological, or are you talking family relations or whatnot? Basically, I cannot trace my family lineage, like biologically back at all, because people have divorced, people have had affairs, all this other stuff, every little thing that you think of. I mean, the Towns alone, just, oh my, what the my
Yeah.
mom alone. I mean, this is she's divorced twice, and she's getting married for a third time. I love my biological father, who was the first one that she married after she fell pregnant with me,
Hmm.
and then she married my dad, who was really my stepfather, where I get the Edinburgh in my name.
Yeah.
And Giaki, I like this dude, really,
Yeah.
really. But yeah, my entire family lineage is I cannot trace it back. So I mean, like I got everything from possible heart failures to hell. My great grandfather died because he literally could not shit anymore.
Wow.
Um,
Jeez.
seriously, to put it very simple, I mean his digestive system was shut down on him, and
Wow.
that's pretty much what killed him.
Yeah.
So I got everything you can think of now. I'm never gonna smoke.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
gross.
gonna admit something. I had a couple beers with my mom. My mom's a destructive influence in my life. Deal with it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm almost 19. Just a couple years on, I'm moving over to Kansas. There's a lot of bars over there, and I'm in college already. And I'm not gonna be getting addicted to it. So I'm
I mean,
on
you
it
got
good.
the Irish blood in you, though.
Bars?
You
Pardon?
got the Irish blood in you, though.
I do.
And like for me, what happened with me is that like I was always the youngest, and I mean, my life was pretty good. Like I mean, I don't memorize everything about my life. I mean, not I wouldn't expect anybody to, because I have a really bad memory. But like
Mhm.
most of my childhood was not actually that bad. Like it's hard to believe that looking at a picture from me from when I was like that tall. I'm like, wow,
Mhm.
that's me. And like I've gone through so much. Like I've gone through so many schools. I made some friends. Some of my friends turned to be complete jerks. It was not fair. And then I came to Sky Valley later in my life, and I had an okay time. And then I started to have some issues. Like I would hide away, and my mom was trying to figure out why I was the problem with me. And then I went to and I got and then sent the the winter or December of 2013, I actually was transferred to Monroe High School. At first, it was a little weird. It was different. I didn't really know what was how everything worked. I mean, I started to slowly understand it, and then I started making friends, and
Yeah,
Zach was the first one I actually met. It was actually a funny story. We were in speech therapy together, and he was just that one Asian looking kid, which was like, he's like he barely talked, and it was just like weird to see. He was kind of almost uncomfortable. And then I saw him in history class. I'm like, "Hey Zach, what's up? It's good to see you again." That kind of thing. And then we started just talking about things we had in common, and eventually found out we had like a lot of things in common, and we just got along so well. And then of course, and then I mean, I don't like doing this, but I think it's fair to people who want to know about my life. We had this.
The screen went black.
Oh.
Is this still recording?
Yes.
Yay.
We started doing this because what happened. Like I said before, I don't usually talk about this, and I actually had a kind of bothered me a bit to when a friend earlier mentioned it. I had the idea of having an animated project. I'm like, I wanted to start an animated project, and it was like something cool because I wanted to be an animator. And then what happened is that my friend, the first thing that happened is Steven actually, he said he'd love to do that too, and I started gathering some friends, and some of my good friends started to want to join, and we all kind of banded together to create this really amazing group. Really good friends of mine, and we started adding people, and it started to go pretty well. We got some ideas, we shot a few podcasts, we had some the concept designs, and then I don't know what happened to cause it to happen, but something happened where I was going through something, and I was just out of control. I was not thinking straight,
Mm-hmm.
and suddenly I lashed out, and I don't know
think
what
that's your fault.
happened, but something happened, and
Alright,
I
I'm
just
gonna
went.
get it
I just went crazy. I just like people didn't understand what was going wrong with me, and it turned out that like I had autism. Oh, actually, this is before the group, but like around the time of high school and everything, my mom found out that I had autism, which is the reason why I have such a hard time talking to people. And I mean, obviously, it's not as bad now, but like back then, I just could not do it really well. And then suddenly something happened, and we had we had an animated project we were working on. It was going pretty well, but then suddenly something happened, and of course I have a really bad memory, and I can't remember what happened, and so everyone just suddenly ditched me, and not everyone, but like some of the people just started not trust me for some reason, and it really hurt. And then we just stopped working on it. I mean, not everything works out. I mean, we try, and I mean, it was a cool idea. Like I still have the podcast on my computer, and yeah, it's fun to watch them and just see how what could have been thing, like an idea. Like yeah, obviously this project didn't actually happen, but it was a nice idea and a nice little interesting idea. Like what if this actually happened? It'd be really cool. Unfortunately, it didn't actually work out, and we just all it went into like a civil war almost.
Mhm.
We kind of went crazy, and of course it's all in the past. But not everything works out, and that's just part of life. And I had to move on, and I had to just find another life of mine. And I've here in college doing really well, and I mean, yeah, I do feel sad sometimes when I think about what could have happened, and we got so far, and then shit just happened. What happened? We don't know. I don't know. By memory, something happened, and I said something things I probably didn't. I probably regretted things that nobody wanted to hear, and I apologize for all of that, but because I don't remember any of it. But
Yeah.
that's part of life. You have to deal with that, and
Mhm.
yeah, we worked really hard on this project. It could have been a really fun thing, but unfortunately, it did not happen, and we've kind of abandoned the project. But that's. I think, like you've often said, it's part of life. You have to just deal with. Sometimes not every good thing works out, and you just have to move on with your life. And maybe eventually one day you'll find that you can make something better out of that. You can become an animator and actually have something to live by. And now it's not as bad. I know I still feel it still feels brings pain to me when I think about it, but now, we're college students now. We kind of have gotten over it. It's kind of in the past. We don't really think about it anymore.
Yeah.
You're gonna say something?
Hmm?
You were gonna say something about that?
About this.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Your accent changed back. Don't worry. Just like all of a sudden, I was listening to you talk, and all of a sudden, you probably saw me smirking,
Sorry.
just like, oh, there we go. But
But that's been my life, at least for a while. Is autism has been affecting me my entire life. Not and the only thing wrong with me is the fact that I just have a lot of social problems. I can't seem to do it really well. I don't know why, but it's just happened all my life, and we didn't even know what it was until when it happened, and my mom was so happy because it means I can get like every good thing to happen to me, like disability.
mm-hmm.
So it's part of life.
Yeah,
know?
Mm-hmm.
I certainly understand that.
I mean, now I'm having a great life. I mean, before my life was, I wouldn't say shit, but like I wasn't happy with my life. It was crummy. But now it's pretty good. It's improved by a lot. Going to a very nice college. People treat me very nicely.
You got a girlfriend?
Yeah, I do. I have a new girlfriend, and she's amazing. We get along so well, and it's been a nice, really good time. And it's basically this program that deals with people like me who struggle with things and learning disabilities like autism. And for me, autism is just a thing where I struggle with social skills. So
Well, on that, so for those of you that are listening that don't know, I met Zach. I think it was not fifth.
We it was
Sixth
like
or seventh?
chess club.
Yeah.
Let's say something really stupid.
Zach and I, we met when we were at chess club in our middle school,
yes.
and we first started talking about Bakugan one day.
Yeah.
Just randomly, he and I started talking, and we've been friends ever since.
Well, that wasn't
Yeah.
exactly the thing that sparked
Well,
it, though.
Smosh.
Yeah, that's the thing that sparked it.
And then we talked about Bakugan.
Well,
and
I did.
everything just-
I actually saw. I didn't see it, but I noticed that one of the reviews on your channel has Zach talking with you about Smosh. I never actually saw
hell
it.
yeah.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
I will see it eventually, but just haven't gotten around to it.
Like when
College has got my
when
life.
I got into middle school, like I'll tell you, like the first year, it was like hell.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
same here.
It sucked a lot.
Oh yeah.
I was a lost soul. I was like stupid, but like I was a lost soul.
Yeah, sixth grade. This is starting to talk about some real shit here, but sixth grade I was bullied. Chase.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
the carpenter.
Yeah. I was bullied so much. So, before I moved over to this side of the state, when I was really young, I was the kind of kid that I would threaten other kids, not looking for anything, just threaten because I had a shitload of stuff going on at home.
Yeah.
I never saw my biological father. I was moving around a lot. I was angry, really, really angry. And I was the kind of kid that I'd fake at home, being like, "Hi, how you doing?" and kind of like a
Yeah.
cheery little kid. But then I was a bully, like crazy. And in sixth grade, so I changed completely when I met David, who's been on the podcast.
Well, no,
Hasn't he?
Caleb.
I thought
Your
David
friend,
was.
your friend Caleb has been on.
No,
No, David was on the podcast once, I think, with Caleb as well.
No, I don't think he.
Yeah,
was.
all three of us were on that one end.
I don't. I think it was just Caleb. I'm pretty sure he. I don't think your friend David has been on the podcast, but
Well,
Caleb has been on the podcast.
David, who, if you were to look at my channel, he's been on, a lot of my
I haven't to
stuff.
see that, but I will.
Yeah.
Promise me, I will. I just haven't had the time because college has got in my way and got into my way, so that does that.
Hey, that's fine, man.
Yeah.
But, David changed me completely.
Yeah.
I mean, I became a better person. I met a friend who became my brother.
Yeah.
The first real connection I had with someone else besides a family member. And anyway, fast forward a long time, and sixth grade rolls around. I've been interested in dinosaurs my entire life because, like I said, I was angry. I was really, really
Jurassic
angry.
Park
as a kid.
probably changed that for you.
it was dinosaurs in general.
Yeah.
Part of the reason why I'm going towards dinosaurs so much, and this is, if you don't know me, this sounds rather sappy, and a lot of people when they first hear like, "Hey, paleontology, what? Why? You? Oh yeah, you've been going after that your entire life? Wow, I can't believe it." I'm like, yeah, because honestly, for me, there's been nothing else besides that.
Yeah.
Dinosaurs, seeing them was like the only thing that one calmed me down, and two, the only thing that I felt any connection with. You know?
I was just gonna say that like, for me when I like for example Jurassic Park, that was the first movie at least in the 90s that we all saw that really, because we never actually saw dinosaurs, of course,
Oh,
obviously,
I did.
obviously, but this is the first time where like a really good director actually brought us like a first glimpse at what dinosaurs could have been, and it was an amazing movie. I mean, overall, Jurassic Park just brought it to life, and it made you go, oh my gosh, it's an actual dinosaur. I mean, clearly it's just CGI and some animatronics, but like, wow, it just it's
Mhm.
amazing how that can be brought to life like that.
And Jurassic Park
you know?
has become a big part of my life. Honestly, that's where I first started to become like a really big nerd and
And it
a
makes
big
you go.
fan.
It just fascinates you about that kind of
Well,
department.
dinosaurs always have. Jurassic Park just came later.
Yeah,
It just boosted it. But
it's just so fascinating to learn about dinosaurs,
yeah,
where they came from.
exactly.
And
It's,
Jurassic Park it made it happen like that.
Yeah, Jurassic Park. I'm going to Kauai for my
Yeah.
19th birthday, and I'm taking a helicopter ride
Nice,
over where they filmed Jurassic Park.
nice.
Um,
That'll be fun.
yeah, I'm gonna be doing that when I'm down there, and I'm going alone.
Nice.
Just me at a hotel for a week, and
Hopefully it'll be fine. 'Cause,
yeah,
You know,
well, if not, I can kick
sometimes
someone's ass.
people are not brave enough to do that.
Hey, I'm like you said, like I said, dinosaurs have been a big part. Jurassic Park has been a big part of my life and big confidence boost.
I mean, if you want to talk about Jurassic Park, I can tell you the second one, not my favorite. I did a whole review on that, and I said that I did a I can't remember which number of a review it was, but it was an episode where it was the entire quadrilogy of Jurassic Park, and I explained that I did not like Jurassic Park 2, Lost World.
Mhm.
I just didn't like it. It felt boring, and it had like 3 segments to it. It felt so boring, kind of like one of those movies that just kept going on and on and on. And just it's like.
Reject your reality and substitute my own.
That's
Especially
opinion. It's
Jurassic
really
Park
only
2.
based on opinion, really though.
Dude, we're reviewers. We're supposed to have different opinions.
Not necessarily, but you clearly debate
yeah.
them.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah. I mean, give me a good debate on anything, whether it's politics or nerdy or
Reviewed number 1. I reviewed the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and I thought, in my opinion, that it was good.
Trigger.
People who would think who would understand what I'm saying
I'm
would be
also
go
not.
like, "Are you insane? The Star Wars prequel trilogy was terrible." And I actually said that in the very first episode of review I recorded. That I mentioned that like, "Oh, Star Wars prequel trilogy was terrible." It's like, I thought it was actually really good, in my
Growing up,
opinion.
I loved them.
You know, I thought that my
love
my
parts.
favorite character was Obi-Wan. He was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Just
Mine was always Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Always. But
forever.
hell yeah. Oh, that's my profile picture as
Yeah.
like YouTube thing. But basically, 6th grade, I was bullied. Like I said,
Yeah.
because I showed my love of dinosaurs. I flaunted
course.
it. I brought in my entire dinosaur collection of fossils and stuff that I showed my age group, and like people that I had never met before that were in high school, probably almost graduating, mocking me.
Mm-hmm.
I was just riding my bike home one day, and someone yelled at me the same things that other people were saying at school. I was like, "What the fuck?" And I almost left.
Wow.
I almost left. I almost told my parents, "Hey, I need to transfer." But next year, I met Zach, and I met a bunch of other people, and things got a hell of a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But fast forward, Zach introduced me to you.
Yes. It was actually I remember that it was almost awkward because it was hard to get to know you, and
Exactly.
then I mean some of the people at schools like that where it's just hard to like get to know you because it's like so fast and it's like you hardly know them, and then you just have to find a way to get to know them better. Like find good topics to talk about. Like, oh my gosh, you like that too? Oh my gosh, I love that too. It's awesome.
When
Mhm.
I first met you, don't take this the wrong way.
Oh,
Please don't. But when I first met you, I was like, who the hell is this kid? Honestly, when Zach introduced
Oh,
us,
yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is this? And this kid was a scrawny little kid wearing a big old winter jacket,
I
no matter
just-
what time
I-
of year it was.
I don't know why, but okay, there's a reason for that. Whenever I got him in the morning, it was cold. It was always cold when I got
Hey,
him in the
I
morning.
understand that.
And then, of course, by
I
the
don't
time it
understand
was
either.
like,
You
you
have
know,
warm blood, it's fine.
noonish, it would get really warm. I mean, that's literally the only reason I would wear that coat, is because it was cold in the morning.
Dude, you were wearing it in like the middle of the day when it was like a sauna out.
Oh, no. I
I
remember
was
that.
like, what the fuck? But
I
you
mean, yeah.
you definitely changed, man. I mean,
Yeah.
whether it's college or
I'm
what.
the same height I was back then.
But yeah, you've definitely come out of your shell,
Yeah,
and
by a lot.
I met a lot of people. I met a lot of good people. I met a lot of bad people. I met a lot of people that are still basically cowering in a corner
Yeah.
that don't allow anything to affect them. And
I mean, like, for me, going to Monroe High School, I felt miserable there. Like, no one understood what my problem was. It was just so complicated. It was, in fact, one of the reasons why I hate that so much is because there was one of those schedules that changed, and I just followed it by what I assumed it was supposed to be going by. Had lunch, came back, and the one class that I literally was never late to, the teacher got mad at me for being late. I'm quoting that because she wasn't literally, she wasn't mad at me, she just kind of like, she was annoyed that I was late to a class I never late to, and that's why I know this is sounding mean, but I despise Monroe High School just because of how annoyingly difficult their system is, and just it's a different system. It's really hard to get used to. Everything it's just confusing. I mean, that's why I never liked it, because Sky Valley Education Center, which was the previous school I transferred from. I loved it. It was so much better. Like they had everything that I liked. I mean, yes, it was. I didn't succeed as well as Sky Valley that I did at there, because I always had my hood and I was just not socialized, and I was just shy. I mean, I'm still pretty shy, but like, you know, at least I've opened up. Now that I'm in college, it's not. I still got guys people who actually like wanna, you know, they don't actually like at Monroe High School. When I was in the area, no one would even wave and all. But at OLS, Bellevue College, people actually, you know, I see someone and they're like, hey, what's up?
Yep.
And they'll, you know, find something to talk about, or maybe if they don't have time, but sometimes, or when I come to a class, they're like, hey, Tom.
Mm-hmm.
But like at Monroe High School, I didn't get any of that. It was so crummy. I mean,
I did.
I just
like saying hi to you all the time.
yeah, I really did not like it there. I did not understand any of the system. I just didn't care about any of the stuff they did there, and I didn't understand any of it. And basically, they treated me, or at least it felt like I was treated like I should know all this stuff by now. It's like I don't know all that. Like you expect me to know about everything about your school. I'm sorry, I can't do that. It's physically impossible. I just got here, and you expect me to know everything about your school? Impossible. I'm sorry, but I just got here. You can't expect me to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Just think about it. You can't just say, "Oh, you know about this." No, I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how the world works.
Yeah.
So, but now obviously I've grown up and moved on, and I'm doing well, and you know I still the friends who didn't abandon me by means what might be that is because the people who just couldn't handle me for who I am ditched me, and other people like you guys, we just stuck around because you're like, you know what, you are awesome the way you are, and other people they're like, I can't deal with you. You're too weird, and you just have breakdowns and everything, and then you guys are just sort of totally supportive. And that's why we've been friends forever, is because you understand what I go through all the time, and that's what makes me feel so amazing. Is like it's okay. We understand everything you're going through, and that makes me so happy to have you as a friend still. The other people, I don't know what was happening, but they just did not get it. They just didn't understand what I was going through based off of my autism.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, but I mean, now obviously we're all fine. We get along still great. We still have these podcasts together, and I'm having a great life. Way much improved since the last school I was at. So
Like I said,
You know?
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
As
First I was
not
like Greg
only
from.
friends, but as people.
At first I was like Greg from Dire Wimpy Kid. I was just a Wimpy Kid. I didn't understand anything, and I just felt like a ghost, literally. And at the Bellevue College, nothing close to that. I feel welcomed. I feel excited to go back to school every day for, the 5 days that I'm there, and it's just amazing. I mean, plus it's first, it's simple. It's easy to get to. It's the I'm getting used to a schedule. I have the same schedule every day, and I usually only have one class, but sometimes it's two. But I have the most amazing classes. I have the most amazing friends. They treat me so well. We get along so well. We have fun, and it's been awesome. I mean,
Definitely.
my other schools, yeah, I didn't have the best of memories. I believe I might have. I didn't get bullied, but I definitely had this. I had this gang. I called it a gang because we were all kind of. It was like a trio of us, and actually more of a quadrilogy. I don't know what. Four of us. It was kind of that kind of thing.
A quartet.
Yeah. And
Oh no! Oh no!
what happened is it's kind of crazy. We would say you're not my friend anymore, and then suddenly something had happened, and we'd just be like, hey, what's up, man? What's going on? And then again, it would be like, you're not my friend anymore. It would be a loop, and now we just went our separate ways, and I feel like that's part of life. That's just part of the way life treats you. Sometimes it just happens repetitively. I don't know about you guys, but that's what happened. That's just my experience for going through, elementary school, especially elementary school. I think that's the one place in life that everyone struggles in is elementary school. I mean, I think so anyway.
I think it's a constant struggle.
Yeah.
Whether it's education or depression or whatever.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to struggle. I mean, that's life. That's honestly all the shitty times that I have had going on through my life, whether it's my parents divorcing or moving or whatever.
Apologize
same
again if this is depressing to you, but sometimes
sorry.
it's okay to share our past.
Yeah.
Each Madhouse provides a free supplement of antidepressants.
Yeah, you can listen to us and then see, oh my god, my life is not that shitty, or oh my god, yay, I'm not
We don't
alone,
mean
or-
to talk about depressing things, but
Or
we
these
feel
guys.
like it's
I'm
okay
opening
to
up.
shed some light on something that's sad but also happy. Mix of the two.
Don't worry, there's a moral to the story. Just let me finish. Let me mope. Let me mope. Okay, maybe 20 more minutes. Okay, I'll get back. But what was I saying? Oh yeah.
What was I? Where was I at? Oh, this is life. Oh,
Are you on
Oh.
something, mate?
I don't.
oh, I'm homeless. Oh.
Is you on something?
It's
I
the
think you might be on
hard
something.
life. But yeah, even the most tough times, like
Yeah.
my cat.
Yes. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, my entire life I had a cat with me.
Yeah.
His name was Mr. Banks. Yes, named after Jar Jar. My dad
Yeah.
named him. And he was with me since I was about 2 years old. Every day he was home.
Yeah.
My dad was too. For the longest time that I could remember, my dad had epilepsy and he allowed it to control him. So I would come home every day. He'd be there. Banks would be there as well. Every day. Day in, day out. And until Dad left. By that time we already had my dog Buttercup. And yeah, so then it was just those two. But Banks slept with me in my room every night. He was my cat. he was a grumpy old man on the block, but I was the only person that he had ever gotten in close. I mean, he was one of the toughest assholes you would ever meet.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
just absolutely an ass. He was a grumpy old man of the
I can
house.
imagine that.
But he loved me.
Mm-hmm.
And the last couple of years of his life, he became a really friendly cat to most people. But about it was earlier this month. It was October 1st, 2016, we had to put him down.
Yeah.
His body was shutting down at that time.
The story for you about that one. With mine.
Hmm?
Oh, for me, like, we had a dog named Tippy, and, I mean, she was adorable, but she was, all throughout her life, but when, like, I think it was 2014, November 1st, 2014, when this happened, but all through her life, she was fairly happy, but, you know, as the years went on, she was just starting to get, you know, less, you know, good looking, I guess, you know, she just wasn't healthy.
She got older.
She got a lot older. She was 15, and she just felt so miserable. She was having trouble with her walking. She just, you know, she was half blind in one eye, I think, or both eyes. I remember, I think one of the eyes was half blind, and she was deaf, or mostly deaf, and you know, she just felt so miserable, and she even had like a thing on her eye that was just like there, like a little bulb thingy. Couldn't really get rid of it for her. So and then the day came. It was like, oh, we're gonna do it. Today's the day, and then it didn't happen. It was like, oh, she's still fine. And then it happened on November 1st, 2015. We had to put her down, and it was the saddest day of all of our lives. We actually we let her do that one last little nice thing for her. We let her go on the beach. And you know, that's just part of life, and you know, we just let her, you know, one last little, you know, walk on the beach before she went to doggy heaven. And we just, you know, we all just felt so sad because it's, you know, a pet. We had her for pretty much forever, and what happened was the doctor put a needle in her, like, near temple, and she stopped breathing, and that was the end of her. And it was sad. It was, you know, we all cried. I mean, it's better than losing a human being, which is worse, but losing a pet, it's hard. It's easier to get through. Losing an actual person is harder, but losing a pet,
I beg to differ.
Losing a pet, it feels. I mean, it's still as painful, but you get through it. You get through it faster. I just feel that, in my opinion, I get through it faster. I mean, it hurt. It really hurt emotionally. It was a really sad day. But you know, I just feel it's part of life, and when it's a pet, yeah, it's still pretty sad. But like, you know, it's just part of life. You have to go through it. And she was adorable. She was my best friend, and you know, I would hug her when I was down, but you know.
I beg to differ.
Really?
Honestly, about pets
Yeah.
versus,
Pet people.
I had a tarantula since I was 5 years
Oh yeah.
old.
Tarantulas are
too.
cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her name was Harry.
Aw.
I had one named Spinny.
Yeah.
Just shows us that we are not creative with names. We just look at something and it's like, hey, name time.
I mean, I was 5 when we got her.
I know. I was like 7 when I had Spinny.
And I had no idea what gender Harry was at all.
Wow.
And
Gender
she
doesn't
died
matter.
the week after we got Buttercup.
Aw.
Like, by the day, a week after. And we buried her in the backyard.
Yeah.
That was, up until that point, I have lost family member before. I've been to quite a few funerals.
Yeah. Same here. I went to the one funeral, but it was, you know, not a big deal.
And last
Raised.
year I lost my grandmother.
Yeah.
By that time I knew that she was going to be gone and I had already seen her. But
Yeah.
Binks especially, honestly, that was the hardest loss I've had in my life. And I mean, I was planning on taking him with me when I moved to Kansas.
Yeah.
He was my cat. He was going to be with me in my house. Whatever new house I get when I move there. That was my absolute plan. Had been for the last year.
Yeah.
Almost 2. Banks, me, and my tortoise Raphael. I carried Binks that day.
Yeah.
We his favorite time of year was always Christmas,
Yeah. Same here.
and every year he played with the tinsel.
Aw.
It was a yearly occurrence, and so his last day, we didn't know that it would be his last day. We had
Yeah.
known for the last month that he would be dying soon. But the last week, a couple days prior, I told my mom, if he survives until Christmas, I want to take pictures. And she said, I don't think he will. And honestly, when she said that, that was, you know, one of those mad moments that I told you that I get. That was one of the few times that I wanted to yell.
Yeah, exactly.
That was one of the few times that I have ever wanted to yell at my mom in my entire life.
Yeah.
That was just pure anger. And his last weekend, we were going to be going out of town. And,
Yeah.
instead, though, I told Mom that we need to stay. We don't know how long he'll have.
Yeah, of course.
At that point, he hadn't eaten in a week. He hadn't drank. He was laying down wherever he could find in the middle of everything. Every place that he went, he was laying down. He was trying to find his place to die.
Yeah.
The last day, he laid down in his own litter box. And,
Yeah.
thank God, Caleb, of all people. I mean, if there's any testament to how
Powerful your friendship
amazing,
is.
amazing of friends that I have, was that he loaned us a Christmas tree, and we set it up downstairs, and I brought Binks up with me when Mom was working down there because I needed to spend time with my cat.
Yeah.
And I put him on my bed, like, you know where it was, but he wanted it off.
Yeah, of course.
But he couldn't jump down, so I got down and picked him up, let him go. He went right on my bed and tried laying down to find another spot. And I climbed underneath, and I was just hugging him, and some of the loudest bursts I've ever heard from a cat in my entire life.
Wow.
And then I picked him up. Mom said the tree was ready. There was tinsel on this, and just a brand new assembled tree.
Mm-hmm.
And picked him up. We took pictures. One last Christmas, and I looked to Mom and I said, we should do it today because he was ready. And so I set him down on my chair, went up, I grabbed a blanket, one that he had become exceptionally fond of, and I went downstairs, I picked him up, I held him. That was the longest I've ever held him in my entire life.
Wow.
Held him the entire way to Marysville Pill Check. The veterinary clinic, we brought him in. I laid with him on the floor. I watched everything. I have lost people before.
Yeah.
I have lost friends. I haven't really seen anyone die. I've seen a couple, but not much.
Yeah.
I have seen my parents move out. I've seen friends that I cared about as family leave me, betray me.
Yeah.
There was no other time in my life that I have hurt like that. No other time that even comes close to it. I'd rather get hit by the fucking car 10 times over.
Yeah.
I would do anything to get him back.
Yeah. Totally. In fact, for me, with Tippy, it wasn't until like I saw my mom cry that it hit me that it really was gonna happen. And I was like, whoa, like this is really it. Like this is literally the last time that she's going to be in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, this is real. Like this is actually gonna happen. And then we took her to the vet, and they explained what's gonna happen, and I don't know why, but when the moment that they took the needle out and told me that she had gone, I just couldn't hug her, and of course later I just hugged my mom and we both cried together. But and then after that, I just sat in the waiting area, and I just felt my tears just come out of my eyes. Like I just lost someone that I knew so well. It's just like what are you going through, and it was really hard. Like seriously, like I hadn't felt this way about anyone ever, because she was like I mean technically she was my sister's cat, but like or sister's dog, but she was a family dog, and she was my best friend forever. I mean, she's adorable, of course, because every pet is adorable, but this is like one of those things where with Binks and Tippy, it's really really hard to get through it. It really is. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be because it's not human, but it actually is surprisingly hard to get through that kind of situation, that kind of life experience. Um, but eventually, you have to just move on because that's part of life, and you go through it all the time. I mean, not all the time, but whenever it happens, yes, it's truth. You have to get through it. You just have to move on with your life.
Well, with that being said, I knew that if I waited, I would not be able to.
Yeah, same here.
And so, my mom's birthday was the next week. And we went the next day. Mom and I were talking all day, and we decided we should go to a shelter and take a look at some of the cats. I know, like, after what I said, that a lot of people, especially the listeners, would probably be thinking, under normal circumstances, without knowing who I am, that...
You'd want to, like, wait a while?
You're literally just some random cat on YouTube. Just like me, pretty much. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people thought that, hey, I would wait a while.
Yeah.
I didn't tell anyone. Well, that day we went to the shelter, and...
Is that the one on your Facebook?
Yeah.
Is that's your new profile picture? That's the new cat.
We got another cat, a lab cat, and we named him Strax after the Doctor Who character.
Yeah.
I did not go there with any intention. All I wanted to do was just take a look, maybe see what I'm looking for. He was the first cat we saw in there.
Wow.
And he's one lovey-dovey cat, that's for damn sure.
Cats are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing was, I'm not one of those kind of people that I linger on a lot of things. And I knew that with Binks, if I waited, I would never be able to heal. Honestly, I would never be able to move past Binks if I waited for like a year, or I would not be able to move past the cat that I had known my entire life.
Yeah.
And I needed something good. I need a cat in my life. I need someone to greet me at the door. it is basically like part of me, and I'm always. When Binks died, I was with him the entire way. I was laying on the floor with him, with his final breaths.
Same here.
That it's going to be impossible for me to ever get over him or anything remotely.
At least for a couple of years.
No, I
Or just never.
really don't think so. I still haven't
One
gotten
of
over.
those things you just like.
I still haven't gotten over the loss of Harry.
It is one of those things where it's like it literally will never. I will never stop thinking about them.
Exactly.
It's like, yeah, no, you just probably think about something about a couple years. No, I just won't. Yeah, they're gonna live in my heart, and I'm gonna still think about them every time, all the time. It doesn't matter, but just part of you is just like you lost an animal, and it's like, I will not stop thinking about that animal. I love them in the part of my life.
That's why I got
never-
Strax.
Yeah.
Because I needed not only something good, but hopefully something good for me. Someone I need a cat, and also I'm moving to Kansas in a year.
Yeah.
I need to get used to a cat now, and I needed something good. My mom's birthday was a week after that, and she also needed something good.
Yeah.
Strax is his own cat, completely polar opposites. Nothing getting him was like out of guilt. Not at all. It was. I fell in love with cats, something I never expected to do.
Yeah.
I literally thought growing up that Binks would be with me my entire life. Until the day that I die. I thought that growing up. I never expected any day without him.
And same here about my dog Tippy. I didn't ever think about a world without her. I didn't realize that, like, this is, like, she's just never gonna come back. And I'm just like, she'd been with me all my life, and it's like, and I never, it's like one of the things where it's like, you never think about a life without that person. And I never thought about Tippy without me. Just, kind of like with your cat, like, you just never think about it not being part of your life. You just don't, it's not how it works. So.
My mom and I still can't believe it.
Yeah.
But basically, long story short.
A very, very long story short.
Yeah, a very long story. I have another cat. His name is Strax. He is going to be very good for my family. I know that. Not at all any intention for a replacement. And anyone who thinks otherwise, well, basically, fuck you.
Yeah, totally.
Anyone who thinks otherwise doesn't know me.
Yeah.
Because there's no way in hell that I would, let alone even could, replace Binks. And no way in hell am I ever going to.
Well said.
We got his paw prints.
Yeah.
With a poem called Rainbow Bridge.
Aw.
My mom showed me that when we were driving home from the vet. And it was on there too. And one of the most moving poems I've ever read.
Yeah.
But yeah.
On a less happier note, or more happy note. Sorry, we kind of went into a more depressive mode. Sorry.
I got a story if you want one.
Oh sure, we apologize. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes we talk about things that are sad, but we can go happy things. Let's talk about happy things now.
Okay. Well, actually, this is a pet story as well.
Okay.
You two may have had loving pets that have left you, but have they ever left you because of something that you did?
Oh.
Accident.
Uh-oh.
So, this is when I was maybe 10 or so. I had my rabbit bunny out,
Oh.
because again I was like 6, 7, Spinny, bunny, you know. So, I had him running around the living room floor, and I was asked to take the laundry to the laundry room. And so I did that. I come into the living room with my rabbit running around in circles. I proceed to walk over to the laundry room when I trip. And I trip right as I'm falling. My rabbit is coming, like, circling around, like, to my shoulder. So I fall. My rabbit hits my shoulder and gets launched, like, about, like, 2 or 3 feet. And I'm just, like, on the floor. And all of a sudden, my rabbit just lays still. Dead.
Wow.
And me being 10 and just, like, not knowing what the hell is happening, I go over to look at it and call his name, wondering why he had stopped running all of a sudden. And so I kind of just, like, slowly start getting sadder, still calling his name, like, wondering, like, how this had happened so suddenly. Like, one 1 second you're taking out the laundry, next second you have a dead rabbit because you tripped and he hit your shoulder. And so it was a really rough time for me, since it was because of an accident that happened, but when you're 10 you still feel really, really bad about it. And that rabbit, whether it's purposeful or not, is dead because of you.
Yeah. Totally
So-
understand that.
Is probably one of the more depressing times of losing a pet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Well, anything you want to talk about for happy mode?
do we need happy? I
Happy
didn't
mode.
notice.
Yay!
Life is depression.
Not all life.
Well,
Some life, not all life.
I don't know. Like,
basically, an overarching thing. The things that we were talking about today, and this is to the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, the things that we were talking about today, do not see them as like a message for everything is bad,
mm-mm.
or anything like that.
In reality, we have life as a purpose of both bad things happening and learning from them, and good things happening as, like, nice experiences to keep heading towards.
But not only that, why did we care about these animals?
'Cause they're in our life, and
Yeah.
we
They're
hold a
very
special place for these little creatures that we tame and take care of.
I know a lot of people personally that struggle with depression, major depression.
Mhm.
I have some really close friends that have either attempted or are considering suicide, and
Yeah.
among other harmful acts
Mm-hmm.
of self-infliction. What we have described to you with our own personal experiences is not in any way, shape, or form to deter you from enjoying life.
Mm-hmm.
Death is a part of life, whether it's an animal or a human.
Or when
Or-
it comes down to it,
However, it's the experiences before that we
Mhm.
share with them. Every day, Binks and me coming home. That was the
Mhm.
most important part of my day. That was why I still kept coming home to an otherwise empty house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, I wanted to run away. Or worse.
Yeah.
The experiences that we have with the people that we care about, family or otherwise. I mean, my friends over here, Tom, this might be your birthday party, but
Mhm.
seriously, those are also my friends.
Yeah.
Seeing the friends here tonight.
Mhm.
I'm moving to Kansas in a year.
Mm-hmm.
The memories I have made with these people are astounding that I am going to remember for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's what I hold on to. That's what keeps me going. Day in, day out. Through
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah.
through rain, through storm. I've been depressed. I haven't really ever considered suicide. A lot of people think, hey, they may not have any reason to live, or they may not have anyone close enough, or what have you. And bullshit. Tom,
Mm.
you were antisocial.
Yeah.
Look at the people that came.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the people that hold you as friends now.
Totally. I mean, I now think in the past, not so much, but now it's
Things got
a
better.
lot better. Yeah.
Same with you, Zach.
Yeah.
You were pretty shy.
Mm-hmm.
And
When I first met you, you were definitely not antisocial, but you weren't like out there.
yeah.
You've also changed for the better. You're one of the strongest people that I know.
Mhm.
One of my closest friends.
Yeah.
You're awesome. Believe me, when I move to Kansas, I'm gonna miss you guys so
Yeah.
much.
And think about changes that you've talked about. Making probably one of the biggest changes like to your life. Just coming from this kid who's like know nothing but anger to someone who knows a whole bunch of like incredible things. It's like if there's ever a message to be portrayed from this, if life seems hard, at any moment, press on. There will be things, there will be people that will lift you up from where you are, and your life will get a whole lot brighter. Anything you can hold on to as a factor to keep you going. Anything, an object, any sort of belief, any sort of people you can grab onto to keep you from falling. Just grab onto it, and hopefully you will find more things to lift you up.
One thing
Yeah.
builds on another. David, when I first met David, Transformers of all things. Before Michael Bay got his damn hands on those movies, no one else knew what they were.
Yeah.
I would ask all my friends, have you ever heard Transformers? Have you ever heard Transformers? First kid, when I finally looked over, oh my god!
Yeah.
He introduced me to Smosh. I
Which
met
chain
you.
reacted.
Chain reaction. You introduced me to him. One thing led to another. Good and bad. Life isn't going to be shit. Might have shitty parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Believe me, it's going to have shitty parts. No one has a life of all rain or all sunshine and rainbows.
Yet you will never have a life that is all thunders and storms.
Yep,
Yeah.
we're not Teletubbies here.
I love that shit though. I will admit that in my childhood, that I love that show.
I mean, I was
Those
just
damn TV bellies.
I was just gonna say, I was telling Zach about this earlier, and he reacted in a really positive way. So I found this clip in class, and I'm like, ooh, that looks like a fun show. I started checking it out. It's actually really funny. It's called The Big Bang Theory. And it's
Bazinga.
so funny. Like everything is amazing.
Question. And I'm sorry to detract, but you've never seen The Big Bang.
I hadn't seen it until I saw it.
Don't worry, he's being educated now. Don't worry, he's being educated now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
He's being educated now.
please excuse the technical difficulties that may occur
Don't worry,
Bob
he's
Curdle
learning.
screams as he falls out the window multiple times.
Don't worry, he's learning. He's learning. A child just needs to learn, Brennan. A child just needs to learn. If they learn, then
He's older than me. He's not a child.
he'll
well-
still learn.
Maturity level, who knows? I mean,
He
I'm
still
a little
learn.
low too.
He still will learn. He's learning now. Sooner or later, he
People-
will blossom into a beautiful child of the Big Bang Theory.
Penny, Penny, do you want to build a snowman?
There was a really funny scene where like all four of the friends, it was the thing with the Halloween party at Penny's,
Oh, no.
and they all the first thing we saw was all four of them dressed as the Flash.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh my God.
oh, you picked the
Aquaman
Flash.
sucks.
You picked the Flash. We all picked the Flash. God damn.
Mhm.
I don't want to be Aquaman. Aquaman sucks.
I forget who showed up as Wonder Woman.
Was
Which
it
one?
like, I don't know, was it like Howard or something?
I don't
Yeah.
I feel like Howard be the only
He's
one
a
to do
really
that.
weird guy, Howard.
Howard
He's
is
so
awesome.
weird.
Oh, they're
That's
all
real.
like have their own awkward.
Like ends up sleeping with Penny's sister. I think it was so weird.
I don't know. Oh, you know, there's something I was reading the other day, like top 10 interesting facts about like the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
One of them, every character except for Leonard
Mm-hmm.
has
Yeah.
seen Penny naked,
Oh my god.
So irony.
and that's the character who they marry.
Yeah.
Every actor on there has seen her like shirtless and
Yeah.
everything because they film multiple scenes. Like one time where Raj and spoiler, plug your ears. I don't care. Just can you hear us? But like in one of the earlier episodes where Raj he can't talk to women at all,
Oh
and
yeah.
so he gets drunk. And he
Yeah, he
and
did.
Penny
I-
sleep
I s-
together.
Oh yeah.
And like the next morning she's like, ugh, and he still can't talk to her, but like every single character has seen her naked except for Leonard.
So much irony.
Mm-hmm.
I saw there was one episode. It was the first Doctor reference in the show, and it was where Sheldon was talking about his morning routine. Like every day at approximately so and so.
Oh yeah.
I get the cereal out. I get I got a full of 2% milk. So I'm not on the couch. I turn on the BBC American and watch Doctor Who. It's like, what?
He has everything. Like Sheldon has everything in such perfect order. That's my
like
spot.
he
Don't sit in my
it was actually
spot.
an episode. It was Hail Night, and Penny was sitting on his seat in the couch, and he
Mhm.
freaked out because he was in like you see when I said like there's no and he's like just sit down. It's like just sit down.
Yeah, and
Oh my
he
God.
couldn't sit anywhere
No,
else. That
he
was
explained in such detail how that spot was perfect.
exactly. It was amazing.
It was incredible.
Or do you remember the episode where he was remaking the roommate agreement when he and Penny
yeah.
first got back together? So like in one episode they were
I never saw. I'm only episode 9.
okay. So in one of the
Like
episodes,
I said, he's learning.
so one of the episodes, you know, the roommate agreement with Sheldon and all that.
I think so.
So every roommate that he has had, he makes up like a roommate agreement. If this were to happen, then you must do this, this, this,
Yeah.
this, and like these files, like hundreds of
Yeah,
paper,
it was
all in this little notebook. And in one of the episodes, he and Penny, or Leonard and Penny, they were together, and so he was like, "What?" And then he redrew it all up. The entire episode just all chaotic. Oh, and this, and there it was going on for a very long time in the same episode. At the very end of it, he finally comes out with this paper, and it's like, I finally drew it back up. And Larry was like, "Oh, we broke up again." He tosses the
Yeah.
thing in the air, and all these papers go flying all over the place. However, Jim Parsons, the guy that plays Leonard, or not Leonard, but Sheldon, one of the papers like landed on his head, and because his line is he's supposed to be absolute serious faced, that was like a blooper. Just like he tossed everything up, and he had to keep a straight face the entire time and be like, "I hate you for this," and then storm off like that.
Yeah.
Everything in that scene was improvised. One of the best scenes, and at least one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Was all improvised like
It
that.
was actually a really funny scene where he had a Pacific cereal order, like all his cereals he's going and I think the fat has or something like that, or the grain has. He's like, today I'll have this, and then I think it was something with Penny. He's like, look, I'm gonna have this cereal today. He's thinking, really?
That pissed him off.
It was so funny.
Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
Oh, Will Wheaton makes
Oh.
chronic appearance in that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Speaking of Star Trek,
Yeah.
in one of the episodes, they go to Comic-Con
Oh yeah.
just as Star Trek characters, and they drive and they go out into like the desert and stuff like that. They're on their way to the Comic-Con. Their car breaks down,
Oh.
and so they're doing like a spoof of like Star Trek, making fun of a bunch of the stuff. And they're wearing Next Generation getup.
Yeah.
So like Star Trek Enterprise and everything like that. And like they're like trying to hitchhike and then water just splash all over them all. Like what the hell? And then finally they get to like some other spot. I think they got to the end and then all of a sudden it was canceled. Or something like that.
Oh.
Or it was like some other Star Trek convention. I don't remember if it was Comic-Con or whatnot. And at the end they're in a diner and they're like, we need to rent a car, and Raj, he's
Yeah.
dressed up as Worf
Yeah.
from Enterprise. He's like, can we at least rent it from Enterprise? And no one laughs at all at them, and they all just scowl, and he's like, screw you, that's for me.
There was a really, really hilarious scene where Penny was staying the night.
Oh.
And
Oh.
Roger's like, he's like, let's go. He's putting peanut butter on his bread, and he's just quietly steps out. And he's like, it was so funny.
Yeah.
I love the restaurant that they're at. When
A Cheesecake Factory?
yeah, it was so funny.
Oh, the Cheesecake Factory.
Because it
A
has
lot
to
of
be
fond
a Pacific.
memories in
Or
there.
so it's so funny. Because actually in the restaurant where they had to have Raj, or I think it was Howard. They had to have Howard. They had to they were the same thing every day or something, and it was like a 4-piece thing. It's like we can't order. We need Howard here. It's a 4-meal thing. We have to have this.
Oh,
this,
yeah.
And then the waiter's like, I can't do that. I'm sorry. And then he's like, I can do. I can give you your meal, but then I can just, then I can accidentally throw one off the thing, and then it's on the floor.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
I remember that. No, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work the same.
I don't remember that one.
It was season 1.
I
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I don't remember who said that though. Was it Penny?
it was the waiter.
Oh
The waiter at a
yeah.
convenience shop.
You want to know another scene?
Yeah.
So in one of the episodes, I think it's later in the season.
I'm only episode 9 of season 1, so.
So like later in like one of the later seasons, Sheldon's birthday comes around.
Yeah.
Penny is trying to find him a gift, and she brings him a napkin.
Oh yeah.
And he's like, "What's this?" And it's signed with Leonard Nimoy's name.
Oh my god.
And then he's like, he uses, and he doesn't really give a shit about the signature. He uses. Do you understand what this means? All I need now is a working ovaries, and I can call my very own Leonard Nimoy. And she's like, I'm only giving you the napkin, Sheldon.
Oh god.
I'm only giving you the napkin, Sheldon.
Uh.
And then he just goes like,
Uh-huh.
Do you remember that episode where Penny just moving in and her apartment looks like shit, and Sheldon he doesn't fight, he's like, and her apartment is across from this apartment,
Yeah.
which is across from this apartment, which is across from our apartment, and I don't like that, and he literally got at night while she was sleeping, got into her house, like her apartment, and started cleaning. It's like, And then she freaks out afterwards, like, "You were in my house cleaning? I was sleeping."
I love the thing they did was like, we have to speak in low tones. Women are very sensitive to high-pitched screaming.
It was
Whatever
awesome.
you say.
I don't remember that one.
Oh
It
my
was the same
God.
episode I was
like,
talking about.
the last. Oh my god! Like the last 5 years, I have not had a chance to see yet
Yeah.
because I lost cable,
Mm-hmm.
so I've
Yeah,
been
same
off
here.
of it for the last 5 years. So I haven't been able to watch
Use
any new
Netflix
stuff.
and that stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but it's not on Netflix.
Oh, yeah. Or library or whatever.
Yeah, it's not on the stuff that I got.
My dad
Really
used to
pissed me
watch
off.
it like every day though.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was really young, what we used to always watch. Weekdays, every single night we would watch the news. Sunday night we'd watch 60 Minutes. After the news every night we would watch Jeopardy as well.
I love
Very
Jeopardy.
rarely Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
We rarely ever watched that.
No, it's never Wheel of Fortune.
No, we never did. That's why when you convinced me to play that damn game, I was like, oh, what the hell is this? I wish I had gone with my gut. Fuck you. I'm not going to go much more into it because we already have. Now!
4 hours.
Fuck you. And and every week we would also watch Survivor. Every single week. But before that, Big Bang Theory came on.
Yeah.
But for years, I had no idea what the hell Big Bang Theory was.
Me
And my parents
neither.
were watching it one day, and they're like, "Here, we're watching Big Bang Theory." I'm like, what's that? It's about a bunch of nerds, and that's before I became like a huge ass nerd. Like,
Yeah.
I'm nerdy and I know it kind of a thing. And they're like, "Oh, you'd like it?" I'm like, "Yeah." Then like a couple weeks roll by, I'm like, "Okay, I'll sit down and watch it." Best night ever.
Yes.
Yes.
It was hallelujah.
You have been given the miracle of Big Bang Theory.
pretty much, and I fell.
Was your guys' favorite episode from season 1, or at least the first
I can't tell.
episodes?
I can't tell you. There's so many. I don't know the seasons.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
been
season 1.
years. My favorite episode is probably one of the most famous memes.
Mm-hmm.
The end scene of an episode where Sheldon's in the ball pit after he first started to use the term bazinga.
Yeah.
And he hides in a ball pit in like this children's spot, and Leonard has to dive in after him to bring him back home, and he just goes up, bazinga.
You'll have to catch me
And then-
first.
yeah, you have to catch me first.
Wow.
Bazinga.
Bazinga.
Just all over, just playing like Marco Polo with Bazinga. And Sheldon and Leonard just and it goes through like the credits, and then at the end he's still going at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was amazing.
that was awesome.
But besides that, I can't tell you.
I
It's
think
been a while
since I've seen it
another
either.
great moment was when it was Halo Night and
Oh.
and they were one man short, and Penny's like, I can play, like, and then Sheldon's
Oh.
like, I don't think you understand how this specific way of how Halo is played, and she's like, oh yeah, I just looked her head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she pwns their ass.
Oh yeah, like she gets on the computer and she just like
Oh,
makes her
oh.
own account.
There was one episode where they were playing Halo Night, and Penny came in and he's like, hey guys, we I think it was like we got bored or something like that, and we here to have sex with you. he just completely ignores, like.
Oh, yeah.
It was so funny. It was like really. It's like,
Oh.
yep, totally working.
Oh, you remember how Penny always jacks Leonard and Howard's internet connection?
Yeah.
In
Oh, that
one
was so
episode.
awesome.
Yeah,
They were
one
like getting internet from all over from like China or whatever.
Hmm?
I think that was what it was.
I forget. But like in one episode, she comes in at like the beginning of it, and Leonard's just on the computer. It's just like, hey, I can't get onto you guys' Wi-Fi. What's the password again? And he's like, oh no, what did he say? Oh, it's
Go get your own Wi-Fi.
yeah, go get your own Wi-Fi, Penny. No spaces.
No spaces.
Oh my god, that's
Cool.
awesome.
She's just like, that show really is amazing. I really want
Yeah.
to watch it again.
I do too.
I didn't even know really what it was. I kept like seeing little things about it. I'm like, what? It's a weird show. I don't know why it keeps popping up or whatever on Facebook, and then like I just kept hearing about it so much, and then I saw a clip from it in class, and what happened it was a scene between Sheldon and I guess a new girlfriend or whatever talking about that it was something about having to do with butter or whatever. I never saw it, and I don't know what season it was, but it was always later in the show, and I'm just like, that was like a really funny show. I mean, the clip was funny. It's like, oh, I'm not mad if it's bad. So I, I get my shows from various sources on the internet, and so I found it and I watched the first episode and it was really funny. I thought it was really enjoyable. Like it's one of those things where they really get to the point and it's just so funny. They have all these references and. Like I think the Halloween costume party was really funny because it's like we're all the Flash.
Mhm.
They have really bad costumes of the Flash, but I think I think that was actually the funniest episode is the Halloween one where it was just so funny. Also, I'm noticing that the whole the set they used for the going upstairs to the apartment, it feels like it's the same set. Doesn't it feel like the same set? They go upstairs, they go to the next flight of stairs, they go upstairs. I feel like it's the same set over and over again, just loops.
Yeah,
Isn't that right?
maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's been too long since I've seen it.
I don't know. I'm catching an idea.
But it's a really good show. It's really funny. You notice it's really funny. One of those shows that makes that it cracks me up every time, and I didn't even know of course I didn't even know what it was until I found out about it.
They're really good at making all sorts of different like punchlines and all that.
Yeah, I kept hearing about it, and I'm like, why is that show so popular? I'm like, oh, because it's really funny.
That was me and Doctor Who for years.
Yeah.
I mean, like people would be talking about Doctor Who, and I was like, oh, that sounds stupid. That sounds stupid, and then I realized, you know what? I'm kind of a hypocrite because like I'm nerdy on like things like Jurassic Park and dinosaurs all the time, and I'm starting to become kind of a hypocrite, and so I stopped doing that. And then like a couple years later, I'm watching Spike TV, which I rarely ever do, and watching Star Trek, and then later I'm flipping through the channels and I see Doctor Who on. I'm like, okay, might as well see, and I was expecting one of the older ones. Nope, I see the dude, Christopher Eccleston, who was in G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra.
Yeah.
And I'm watching that. The first Doctor Who episode I ever watched was with the Ninth Doctor, Rose Tyler, and they were with the Dalek.
Yeah.
With Henry Van Staten.
Yeah, Dalek. It was
Yeah.
an episode called Dalek. It was episode 4. No, it was episode
Like
6. 6.
It was?
Because first one was Rose. Second one was End of the World. Third one was Unquiet Dead. Fourth one and fifth one were a two-parter. Set on Earth. That was Levine, and then you got the sixth one, which is Dalek.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That was the first Doctor Who episode I ever saw
Really?
in my entire life.
Wow.
Fell in love. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Then later, we lose TV, and this is like a year later. We lose TV. We go onto internet stuff instead. And I look on Netflix, and I'm like, oh, Doctor Who.
Now, by now, they've...
Yeah.
Their deal is just broken, so they don't...
Dude, do you have Amazon Prime?
We do, yeah.
All of the Doctors.
Yeah.
Except for the originals, but from now
Well,
on...
I've actually
Prime.
seen all the seasons, or all the series. Fortunately, I can't watch all the seasons from the classic because, like, some of the front stuff from the William Hartnell and Patrick Gardner era are gone, so I can't really do much. But 3 and on are available, so
Yep.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, they're not as good because I was talking about on the Doctor Who podcast we had that I noticed that the effects aren't as good in terms of like trying to make the TARDIS big on the inside break fail right there.
Yeah, it doesn't. If you're going to be talking about graphics and stuff like that, anything before the last 7 to 10 years
Yeah.
is shit graphics. But if you're talking about storyline and
It's
stuff
like
like
any
that,
TV show,
that could
you know.
that could give you somewhat of an excuse. But CGI, honestly, I don't really like it as much. Give me a good practical effect. Give me something like Jurassic Park any day.
That was
over any
actually-
CG.
I saw this behind the scenes of how they did that. It was really, really nice. Like I
Yeah.
noticed that they used an entire like the entire dinosaur was animatronic, and parts where it moved more than they could do. That was partly CGI, but
Mhm.
everything else was animatronic. And they had a problem with the rain. It would rain, and it would get the animatronic wet, and it would not work very well. And they had to figure that out. But,
Or do you remember the T-Rex? So in the first movie, after the T-Rex gets out and everything,
Yeah.
right? And the kids, they're in the car and it has a glass
I
top,
know.
right?
Yeah.
So what the original script was for the film was that it was supposed to be like on the glass, right? Falling through like that was a mistake.
Hmm.
So like the reactions of the people, of the kids inside, with the falling down, that was all real.
Wow.
That was a mistake, and it was dangerous. But yeah, they just kept filming with their hands up like that.
Wow.
But yeah, their screams are real.
I mean, I've seen some movie mistakes in movies, like Harry Potter, for example.
Like which
Um,
one?
So one of the obvious ones, I mean, there's another obvious one that was not as obvious. You can't really see it. It's the candle of the wires. You can't even see it. But the one that's most obvious is in the first movie when Harry first sits down, he's just on this side, and then the scene flashes with the food, and then you see him on this side. It was a complete mistake. And then the second one is another example. In the duel scene, you can see you have to just catch it really. It's kind of Stanley cameo kind of thing, where it's a cameraman like right over here, and it's just real brief, but you can see him. It's like really. So just an example right there. So.
Did you hear about the stuff with so one of the first scenes that they filmed in that, and I've seen this a few times surfacing on Facebook, when Mr. Malfoy comes on, the very last scene where he's like, good thing Mr. Potter will always be here to save the day.
Yeah, improvised.
You read that, right?
Yeah, it was like, and let us hope that Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day, and then Earl Alcove improvised. Don't worry, I will be.
Well, that scene, like I said, improv.
People do that a lot of times.
But that was the
Voice
first
acting
time,
or live action, they do it all the time.
I mean, that was the first time that he had ever been on screen together.
Yeah.
That was the first. That was like the first day of filming ever.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy who plays Malfoy, he was just supposed to look over, scowl, and then walk away. However, he was talking to the director, and he was like, I don't really see it working that way. And so he's like, then the director's like, okay, just put something in what you think would work. And so he did that thing, and no one knew. He made it like right up on the spot, kind of thing. And like the whole thing was written like, I made it up on the spot. I stopped, I turned over, and I said that line, and then Harry just looks up and scowls up like that. And total improv, like you're saying, and don't worry, I will be. And like the guy who played Malfoy's dad, just like
Jason Isaacs.
Yeah, he said that it sent shivers up his spine, and as he walked out.
Wow.
One of the most popular lines in the Harry Potter series was just improv, just like that. I remember Doctor Who, where Sontarans, and all that. When Martha John,
ugly in the old classic series, by the way.
Huh?
They were very ugly in the classic series. Just gross. I mean, they still look gross now, but back then they were just like, ugh, gross, just disgusting.
But do you remember the one with Donna Noble and Martha Jones in the same episode?
Yeah.
And after the Atmos and all that happened, and David Tennant has the gas mask on, and he says,
"Are you my mummy?"
Yeah, that line was also improv.
That's awesome.
He was supposed to have had a bunch of other dialogue, but he completely forgot.
Oh, do you remember the episode? It was, I think it was Booth and Jones. It was the one with the Jadoon.
Yeah.
And since David Tennant is a Scottish actor, he just couldn't say the line right. Like he just without bringing it back into his native Scottish accent. And so they gave him a different line of a Jadoon platoon upon the moon, or something like that. It was improvised. I mean, or I think it was either improvised or they gave him a new line that work for his accent.
Yeah, that's what he said. Jejun platoon upon the moon. Yeah.
And a lot of movies and TV shows, you never realize that they actually improvise that. Like, for example, Frozen, there was a lot of, like, wait, what? Scenes. That's improvised. Kristen Bell improvised the, oh, wait, what? You know. Like, whenever she says, wait, what? That's improvised. That's voice acting improvised. You don't even think about, like, and you don't realize, like, hey, that's actually improvised? Wow. Even voice acting.
Yeah, I love improv stuff.
I'm not good at it.
The Joker.
Yeah.
And then the Dark Knight, he improv'd all. Do you remember the Joker blowing up the hospital in that movie? So what he was supposed to have done was just, okay, walk off. But as he was walking, the thing didn't go. And so he just stopped, turned around, fiddled with that, and the boom happened. He was like, oh shit, that was real. And then he hopped onto the bus and he was like, go! They zoom off. The explosion of the hospital blew out the windows of all the surrounding buildings.
Wow.
That was a mistake.
Yeah.
That was a mistake because it was supposed to have just blown up right then and there. But yeah, it didn't work. And so him turning around and going like, what the hell? That was all improv.
Yeah.
And all of his makeup is improv too by him.
It's one of those examples of movies that just don't even realize that they improvise at all, or even TV shows.
Oh yeah. Do you know of any, Zach?
I don't know of any like improv deals I've caught on TV or movies or anything like that, but I do know about improv.
Yeah.
And
Or-
it's really fun.
Did you ever watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I
No.
may have watched it maybe a couple times.
Tom, you haven't?
What show?
Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Nope, I haven't.
Okay, I
Sounds
can
like-
tolerate Big Bang, but whose line is it anyway? Ladies and gentlemen, I must apologize for our previous host. I must really apologize for this son of a bitch who doesn't even know the good stuff. Next thing I know,
Hey,
he's
my
never even
girlfriend
heard of-
doesn't know half the world's movies, but
I don't
hey,
care. You're supposed to be a nerd. You're supposed to be the host of this spot.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Whose line is it anyway? When we're done with this,
We have some shit to do.
yeah, we got some YouTube to watch. But,
And other stuff. We got shit to do.
Pretty much. Whose line is it anyway? Everything's improv. Everything. They just give you different lines and stuff like that, and they do have basic premises, but everything is made up on the spot. Fantastic, absolutely hilarious. Some of the best. Yeah, it's really good. You would love it. Seriously. A lot of my humor, like my dark humor, I get from that.
So, a little segue here. Those of you who don't know, and we already, the intro already proved to it. Today is, well, not really my birthday, but it's a celebration of my birthday.
A month late.
Yeah, almost a
Oh,
month
okay.
late. I'm 20 now. I think it's pretty interesting, and plus I'm older than both of you.
Mm-hmm.
How fair is that?
Well, I'll be 19 in December.
Yeah.
So.
I'm the youngest.
Yeah, you're young and yet you're the tallest.
Yes.
You look older than both of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, people, Zach is the jolly green giant kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? A giant green Asian giant. But he's Italian, or so he tells us. Well, I can't tell half the time, but
And because of the fact that I'm 20,
People
I
focus on the
I feel like
eyes
it's necessary to share about like the history of my channel, just because.
a lot. We get
So
the backstory.
basically, how it happened is.
okay, we need to have transition.
Do-
Pair the platypus. Yeah, we need to get Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz on this.
Cashew potted
So basically
potted
how it
plant.
happened
So when he
is,
rules the world in a couple years, we know where to come back to.
Cashew
Yeah.
planted a potted plant.
Planting the
but-
potted plant. Welcome
Yes.
to the agency.
So I first signed up for my YouTube channel back in December of 2010. Yeah, it's been a long time. And I
Already.
started just making random videos with my video camera, my phone. And then I first couple episodes weren't really, I didn't speak at all. And the next episode after that, I started doing little tutorials, and I did more of other kind of crap, and yeah, it would get some views, but it was not
Tom
popular.
showed me a couple of those. Oh my god, you got the cutest little young
Yeah.
kid voice.
I was so weird.
What do you mean was?
Like, actually, I got a lot. A lot of my comments were just crap. Like, I had one of the comments. I think it was on my most popular video, which is over 93,000 views. I got so much crap. Like, I got just crap. Things
That was,
that
like the one where you did like this lightsaber battle, wasn't
yeah,
it?
that one. It was the lightsaber thing.
It had
It
like
was,
the most views, but it also had like the most dislikes.
yeah.
like just insane about how much that happens. And then I started doing other things. Like I made a game feel series. I only did it for 20 episodes, but I also just started doing other stuff that I thought was cool, tutorials and stuff. And then I did and then I got into a coaster series, which is somewhat popular. And then I then did other stuff because I don't mean for this channel I don't really focus on any particular stuff, but I just started making other cool videos, and then I realized that okay, this is gonna sound crazy and this is kind of weird, but my Game Feel series, I just felt it wasn't getting popular enough. Like, no one was watching it, and I felt like, this isn't gonna work, and so I stopped doing it. And I'm like, okay, I said, I'm gonna do a new series, and that's when I met Brennan, and I found out that he does reviews, and I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. And I started watching his reviews, and I haven't watched all of them, but I watched quite a few of them, and then it inspired me. You know what? I know I could do reviews. I know I've seen movies and I've seen TV shows, and I can talk about them and talk about what I like about them and I don't like about them, and all that stuff. And so what happened is that I'm thinking, well, I did say I was gonna do a new show, and I have this okay, this is gonna sound weird again, but I have a fascination with numbers. I love numbers, and especially with there's a channel that I follow. I kind of stopped following them for a while, but I follow them, and they're called Rooster Teeth. And they had a whole bunch of shows, and they would number them, and a lot of them either their thumbnail would be numbered, or the actual video would be numbered, like the intro would be numbered, like, and welcome to Trials Files number whatever. And I loved it. I loved that it doesn't matter what it was, just any kind of thing where they actually said the number or something, and I loved it. I just loved how they emphasized it. And so I'm like, you know what? I love doing that. So I incorporated having it episode number, and so I put it as that. And then I'm thinking, well, I don't want to just call it the review show, because that's kind of boring, right? Really, you wouldn't want to be like, welcome to the review show, like. Moving on.
And it's a show.
Yeah, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have to call it something. So I decided, you know what, I should call it review, because first of all, I review a show, or I review a thing, but by the time I've done that, I've already reviewed it, and so I want to put a nice little pun there, reviewed it, and then I started just putting things out, and then after that, I thought, well, we do a lot of get-togethers, and I'm thinking. We did a podcast back in the day, and it didn't work out all the time. And then I'm like thinking, well, most of us we talk a lot, and we just kind of go off topic a lot. We go into tangents. We a lot. We go off the tangents a lot.
Hi.
And thinking, well, we should make a new podcast, a new podcast that would be fun, and we just we record it and we talk about shit, usually shit, just anything we can think of, and that's when I started to think about. We got my friends together. We were like, okay, well, we want to make a new podcast. What should it be called? Every podcast has a name. We started to think about things. We're like, everything but nothing. The stuff, and then
Okay, I gotta make
Okay,
a
go
little
ahead,
insertion
go ahead.
here.
Yeah.
When he mentioned the Stuff podcast, I was just like, if this becomes the thing, no joke, people are going to get hurt.
And then,
because this is probably
yeah.
the most stupidest idea ever.
And then someone shit on me about that, and I didn't appreciate it. I'm not talking about who, because it's on the past. Not bringing it up. But then because he was going about the 7 podcast, and it's like, okay, that's a bad idea. And then another old friend of ours.
Was that me? No, it wasn't.
No.
About what?
Like calling it stuff. Who was
Yeah.
it again?
I think it was Steven, actually.
Mm.
That was like, I'm sorry to say.
And
the
then another old
stupidest
friend of
idea
ours.
ever.
I'm not gonna bring up the name because it's bad memories again.
Mhm.
But they said that we should call it the Madhouse. Why? Because we kind of form a house. In other words, we as a group we're kind of under the same roof, under the same house, and mad because we kind of talk about stuff that is kind of we kind of go crazy and talk about some stuff, and we go into tangents, and we don't really stay on topic a lot, and we just kind of go crazy. And I mean, we're not mad. We're just kind of it's definition.
Whoa,
We're not angry.
We're not mad. We're not pissed off. However, you know Doctor Who. He's a madman with a box.
Yeah.
We are madmen with Skype in a house. Deal.
Because a lot of time we laugh, we
Process of
we talk about
insanity
shit,
and
we
psychotic.
go off the topic, we go on tangents, we just kind of go and go and go, and it's like we ask ourselves, are we doing all right? And it's the fact that we know we're not doing all right. We are in fact really just kind of out of this world, and that's where it's like, you know what? Let's call it the Madhouse because we are just insanely awesome.
Mhm.
And so that's where
Or
we
insane in
started
general.
to make the Madhouse because it's
Pretty
one of
much.
those things where we could talk about anything you want to and anything you all want to. I mean, just literally anything you want to talk about because it's fun and we are just insanely awesome, and that's where it was born, the Madhouse, and we've been running ever since. And then I started. I also do a Let's Play series, and I do reaction videos, and I actually it's like one of the channels that you introduced me to, Charmex. He inspired me to make my own reaction videos.
Mhm.
And I mean it was hard at first, had to figure out the system, how to get the work, it's software to work, but eventually I figured it out, and it's really fun to just see my reaction because like I said before, don't react to a video when you've already you don't make a
You get
reaction
one
video.
chance.
Don't make a reaction video of a video you've already seen. It has to be
Mhm.
fresh.
Mhm.
It'd be like, okay,
That's
I'm gonna
why you
react
only
to
got
this
one
video, and then you
chance.
click on the video before you react to it. You want to have to already seen it because it's like I practiced this. I recorded a reaction video of one of the Spider-Man Y2Bs, and I had already seen it, and so I guess I sort of forced myself to laugh like like that, you know.
Yeah.
And that's like what you said, like it's like, you know, it's gotta be fresh.
It's gotta be real reactions.
You can't just be like, oh, I've already seen this. Oh well, I'll react to it again, just for the fans. And so
I mean,
You know.
that's one of the things that. So in my channel, Big Dino Guy,
Yeah.
I rarely ever do a review of a movie that just came out. I've done it only if I'm with another person seeing a film.
yeah.
About the only other movie that I've really been tempted to do a review of, like by myself, that I had seen in the theater was Sausage Party.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Mm.
I want to see that.
I haven't seen it yet.
I'm. Happy Tree Friends is the equivalent of Powerpuff Girls to this film.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tom, have you ever heard of Happy Tree Friends?
Unfortunately, I gave up on it because it was. I mean,
Fuck
it's
yeah.
not a bad show, but it's just like I saw a
It's
couple.
fucked up.
I saw a couple episodes of it, And like, that's sort of see some gross shit. Like, okay, it's worse than Daredevil and Jessica Jones combined. Like, take Marvel's Daredevil, which is set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and take Marvel's Jessica Jones, which is set in the same universe. Put them together, that's what you get. It's the most brutally. I mean, there's no language in it, but it's the most brutal show ever in animated history. It is
Happy
so
Tree
gross.
Friends is
Just
for
every
a dude that
episode
likes
is bloody.
horror, like Zach here. It's perfect. For a dude that's timid, that doesn't really get out much. Sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
For a dude like me, where I'm like, well, now I know what not to do if a bulldozer's coming my way. It's Hakuna Matata.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's-
No worries. I
it's
guess.
literally
It's fucked up.
Every episode,
Don't
there
worry,
is some
'cause you're dead.
bad thing happening in a form of a blood thing.
Would you have it any other way?
I guess not.
Oh.
Case in point. Zach got me hooked on that show. But I haven't watched it in a very long time. I haven't watched it in... God, I think the last time I watched it was with you, actually, at your
I
place.
haven't seen it in at least a couple years. Been a lot. I don't know. Maybe the last year. I don't
Well,
know.
you got
It's been a long time.
Well, we got YouTube, we got Netflix, and we got
Yeah.
a night. Ah, shit.
But,
You doing okay, man?
No.
I don't know.
Ideas.
But yeah, it's, Yeah, Happy Tree Friends is the embodiment of a
It's
fucked
the
up
embodiment of gore.
It is
show. No,
so
it's the
gross.
embodiment of fucked up.
You get slices and blades and like a guy. It was one of the characters. I remember it was a one where I think it was a he had a I think it was he got in a trap and he literally had to bite his own leg off to get out of it. It was so gross.
Yeah,
You could see his bone and everything. It was so
Oh my
gross.
God.
That's mild.
You just like
There's-
it's like
There's this one
and then
thing.
he's like you lost your leg. Sorry.
There's this one thing where it's just like, Lumpy, one of the characters, the moose character,
Yeah.
chops down a tree, he gets it caught in his leg. He has a couple things in his pocket, so he just uses a spoon. And then he finally gets the leg off. But guess what? It was the wrong leg. Now he's left with his paper clip.
I think I remember seeing that.
And then he just grabs his own leg, puts it in his mouth, and then just digs in there.
Uh-huh.
I was
Yeah.
just like, oh my god. There are a lot of it's fucked up like Brendan says, but it's just
You have everything from people being their skin ripped off and their
Yeah.
innards unraveled.
It is
Oh,
so
yes.
gross.
You have everything from that to dismemberment and every
Every limb coming
possible,
off.
It's like
angle.
a cartoon version of 1,000 Ways to Die.
Pretty much.
It's worse than Daredevil and Jessica Jones combined. Like I said before, it is worse.
I still haven't seen Jessica Jones.
So much
It is
gore.
brutal. It is so
I've
gross.
heard.
It is so disgusting. I mean, I don't think Captain Marvel because it's a Marvel show and you got Debbie Tennant in it, but
I love
No.
I love when like Tom was talking to me about his story. Like it's gonna be gory. It's like, dude, you're
You
talking to
have met
me.
Zach before, right?
I am the king of horror.
What about being the king of horrors?
The horrors await.
Everyone needs a hobby. I ain't gonna knock it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
okay. Well, I think we've gone quite a while. Again,
You
we're
can't
sorry
get me, I'm a friend.
we do this a
You're
lot.
lucky. That's what you
So I
are.
think that'll do it for this episode. For
Yeah,
this
because I'm about to fall asleep on
quote
Tom's bed.
episode, the special podcast here.
Anyway, should
I
I
need
do
my
the
phone.
outro then?
Sure, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for attending. We're very sorry about the Sob Fest. And, however, please enjoy life.
Yeah.
I mean, be like a Flintstones, have a yabba dabba do time, have a gay old time, I don't know. Do whatever makes you happy. Don't matter if you're gay, straight, bi, lesbian, or just
Ethnicity,
cockatoo or whatever.
beliefs,
Just don't be an asshole.
Yeah, like don't
And
pin
enjoy
things.
life.
Just don't pin
Mhm.
things on anyone. You do you, and like you're just doing you. Then have fun.
And enjoy
Mhm.
the people that you're with.
Yeah, because
Totally.
you never know when you need them or something.
I have certainly found that out, and I'm a dude that's been on both sides of the line of bullying. I'm not a religious dude, but I've been, for lack of a better word, blessed to know a bunch of people from all walks. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous. And I'm not religious. I'm not an atheist, but I sure as hell am not religious.
Mm-hmm.
So I do not use that word lightly. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
enjoy life, be merry, and remember, even when things might be shitty, it'll get better.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Just gotta grab onto anything you can see yourself grabbing onto.
Pretty much. Now, go watch Happy Tree Friends. Eat cookies.
Again, sorry for venting, and it's almost been almost 2 hours here. Thank you for keeping up with us. Thank you for staying and listening to us rant about happy things and sad things. But you know,
Especially the Happy Tree Friends.
yes. We'll definitely see you next time for the next actual episode. Okay. Goodbye now. Goodbye.
Toodles, I'm not fussy.